Hey guys, it's Chris, and in today's video, I'm showing off all my comic books I have collected from Night Legion Comics. I've been shopping there for about 2 months, and I've found some pretty rare comic books, and I want to show you guys which ones I've gotten so far. Night Legion Comic Books sells comic books, pop figures, graphic novels, mangas. So I like how they have a variety of selections you can choose from, not just comic book, graphic novels. Even the comic books themselves have a variety in their selection. They sell from Marvel to DC to even independent comic books like Dark Horse. So they have a variety of comics you can choose from. Obviously, my favorite ones to buy and collect are the Spider-Man ones and the Marvel ones. So you'll see in this stack or this collection so far, I've gotten quite a few Marvel/Spider-Man ones, like very Spider-Man themed. Venom, Spider-Man, Carnage. So it's very themed, and I'm a big fan of Spider-Man. Let's get into it. Alright, so I'm going to do the higher number editions first. So if it's like a 66 or 37 or 40 something, I'm going to do those ones first. And then my first editions, I'm going to do later throughout the video, towards the end. Because, the first editions I think are the best, the rarest finds I've gotten. My first editions I think are pretty good. They're in some pretty decent runs. So I'm excited to show you guys the Spectacular Spider-Man. So now this is the 66 edition, so this one is a higher one, but it was 60 cents a long time ago. I'm assuming back in the 60s and 70s when comics were actually 60 cents. The Spectacular Spider-Man, it's got Electro on it. It's got a very old, not old comic book style, but the retro style the comic books would have back in the day. This has the vibes to it for sure. Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, 66 issue. Now, before I get on to the next one, another really big thing I like about Night Legion Comics is the comics come in great condition. Like you saw with this one, it has like a sleeve and then the white background. You can buy sleeves from them. So if you get a comic that's not in a sleeve, you can buy a sleeve off them and put it in a sleeve and tape it. And I actually quite enjoy that. All right, now we have The Amazing Spider-Man, number 850, but this is issue 49. This is issue 49 of this series, or run I should say. I actually quite enjoy this one a lot because you got Spider-Man on it. You have Rhino, Green Goblin, Venom, Electro, Kraven the Hunter, Lizard. So this cover definitely has a lot of the Spider-Man villains on it. So I do quite enjoy that one. It is higher up in the issues, but I just quite like the cover art. All right, the next one we have, same thing, The Amazing Spider-Man. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and I quite enjoy his comics. This is Suns Rising. This is issue number 47. Like I said, 66 was the highest. I'm just going to keep going down until I get to 1. This I thought was a pretty cool. It's got the classic Spider-Man suit on the cover, and he's kind of surrounded by, I'm assuming, symbiotes. The symbiote creatures that look like symbiotes. That's what I'm getting a lot from this vibe. All right, now we have the Spider-Man 2099 AD. AD, I'm assuming, is that one. He looks like he's got like the Venom symbiote mixed with him, but he was also another variant of 2099. So, 2099, if this world thinks you're a big deal, wait until they'll see Venom 2099 AD. Now, I actually got this one for a deal. If it's rare, they're going to at least price it decently. That's what I like. Spider-Man 2099 AD. Next, we have The Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue 35, also Marvel Comics. 2099 is in trouble. So this looks like the classic Spider-Man, and it looks like he's fighting all these clones or different variants of Dr. Doom. The way Dr. Doom's green is, I really like that tilt. Like, it reminds me so much of him. It's very comic book accuracy. Like, that's what Dr. Doom looks like in the comics. That's what he should look like in live action. So, and Spidey fights Dr. Doom. I mean, that's pretty sweet. What else could you want? Alright, now we're going to be getting into like the 20s and the single digits. Now we have Star Wars, Darth Vader. Now I plan on getting sleeves to these ones, but I have 2 of these Vader ones. I'll show you them. This is number 19. I also have 18. So this is 19. It's got Vader with his red lightsaber on the cover, all menacing. He's just holding it like, come on, bro, mess with me. Come on, I dare you. Fuck with me. Darth Vader, issue number 19, which is, I thought it's funny, it's Star Wars, but it's also made by Marvel Comics. So Marvel Comics doesn't just do Marvel stuff. They'll do Star Wars, independent comics, you know, they'll variety out. Won't just do Marvel Comics. This one, Star Wars Darth Vader, is issue 18. I actually quite enjoy this one. Just a little bit better because of the symbolism. Like, he's standing in front of the TIE fighters. Like, I'm the leader. Like I said in the other one, he's got his lightsaber. But this one, he's not even holding his lightsaber. But he's still very menacing in it with his suit. He's like, come on, mess with me. I'm Lord Vader. Now we're going to be getting into the single digits. Now we have number 9. This is number 9. This is a Green Goblin comic book. Now Lizzie, she goes to Night Legion Comics with me sometimes too. So she'll see something that I'll like and she'll pick it up for me. So I actually quite enjoy this cover. No escape from net shape. Just a very different type of cover art. And it's got Green Goblin, one of the best Spider-Man villains. So he is very different looking in the comics and in live action. But Green Goblin. Alright, now we have Doctor Strange versus Morred. Now, the main reason why I got this is because it says Darkhold. Now, if you remember in Multiverse of Madness, the evil book is called the Darkhold. So, the Darkhold has been in the comic books since early Marvel Comics. Wizard War. This is issue number 6. Doctor Strange versus Morred. Darkhold. Alright, back to Spider-Man. Because, you know, I own quite a few Spider-Man comic books. So now we have Sinister War. Now this is Spider-Man against the Sinister Six. Now Spider-Man goes against the Sinister Six a lot. It's actually a lot of different versions of the Sinister Six in the comics. It's never always the same people. They always switch it up. And this comic run, Sinister War, is no different. He's fighting the Sinister Six. Let's see, we got Sandman, Lizard, looks like Taskmaster. It looks like it's got Doc Ock, Goblin Bomb, obviously Green Goblin. So this is obviously a newer set, newer series, but I quite enjoyed this one. I mean, who can't complain Spider-Man going against the Sinister Six? This is the 3rd issue of this comic series, and it's in pretty good condition. I got it in a sleeve for a reason. Sinister War. 3rd edition, Morbius the Living Vampire versus Spider-Man. Now this is in a sleeve. It's got a white back. So this issue is from 1992. Older than me. I was born in 98. And it's the 3rd edition. So you can't beat that. 3rd edition, 1992. I'll take it. And it's got Morbius the Living Vampire. I mean, you can say what you want about the movie, but the character, Morbius, in the comics, he is one of the vicious and most ferocious villains to Spider-Man. The next one is the Amazing Spider-Man. This is 60 years, so this is obviously a newer series because Spider-Man's been around for a very long time. And 60 years, that sounds about right. Maybe even a little longer. Maybe like, and that issue, like I said, is number 2. Spider-Punk. This is the 2nd issue. Now, in the Spider-Man game, Spider-Man PS4, they released in 2018, an alternate skin in that game was Spider-Punk. And you could play it, and his alternate attack would, like, he could, like, shred on the guitar. And it would send, like, a shockwave. And it is the 2nd issue. This is obviously a newer one of the series, because I knew Spider-Punk, I think he's fairly recent. He's not, like, an older series, like Secret Invasion or Secret Wars or Morbius. You know, not from the 90s, older series. So this one is fairly new. This one gets me pretty excited. So now we have a 2nd issue, or 2nd edition, Venom. Now, what I like about this one, it's literally fire burning half his face, half his skin off, and the other half is Venom, the symbiote. And I just like the symbolism. It's like it's melting, it's burning his face. And he's got the white logo spider on the middle of his chest, which is not in any of the movies. If you watch the movies, he doesn't have the white spider logo in his chest, which is kind of a bummer because he has all of that in the comics. He's just sitting there, Thought that was a pretty sweet cover art. Alright, now we're getting into my 1st editions. Now, these ones are pretty rare. They are part of some newer series, you know, like The Amazing Spider-Man. So, They're not as rare if they're the older ones, but I do have some pretty good first editions. We have the Amazing Spider-Man. This is a first edition, and I know this is a newer run because on the back of it has Obi-Wan Kenobi, April 2022. So that's how I know that, yeah, it's a first edition, but it's a newer series or newer run. It's got Spider-Man on it with his classic suit. You can't complain there. Now we have a first edition of the Spider-Man, the Jackal Files. Now this is one that Lizzie got me. And one thing I like about this one, it's not even the front with the Jackal on it or Green Goblin. I think the Jackal and Green Goblin are different, but with the Jackal on the cover, another thing I like on the back, you have Carnage, Venom, Doc Ock, Black Cat, Taskmaster, it looks like Taskmaster, and then down here I think you got, I don't know who that is, but I do like the Carnage and Venom, and on the front you got the Spider-Man classic suit, you got the Scarlet Spider over in the corner. A lot of spider art all over this cover. Well, I shouldn't say all over the cover, all over the back mostly. I mostly got I think Lizzie got me this because all the different Spider-Man villains on it. Like it's got Carnage, Venom, Doc Ock, like I think that's the reason why she got it. Spider-Man, the Jackal Files. So, now we have the Fantastic Four, Reckoning War, first issue. Now this is a newer one, 2021, but I just quite enjoy the cover art. It's got the Thing, She-Hulk, Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, Invisigirl, whatever her name is, Invisigirl. And then over here in the top, you have the Watcher. The Watcher was one of my favorite things about What If. I am the Watcher. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question, what if? I actually quite enjoy the Watcher in that series, so when I saw him on this issue, I was like, I gotta try it out, and he kind of does have a little bit of a presence in this issue. The Fantastic Four, Reckoning War, first edition. Alright, I was gonna do one of my first edition as Spidey as the last one, but I figured I'd do something that I know is coming out in 2023. It's gonna be an early release, and it's gonna be season 3. The Mandalorian. Now, The Mandalorian, this is first issue or first edition, so we got pretty rare on this one. This one's first edition, came in a sleeve, and I gotta say I'm pretty happy about this one. The Mandalorian, the first 2 seasons I quite enjoyed. I think the second season was a little bit better than the first one, but overall it was a pretty good show. They were selling the Mandalorian comic books, and this is the first issue. They have quite a few other ones there, but I just wanted to get a first edition one. I was like, the Mandalorian, I gotta get that one. Mandalorian's got his battle rifle, it's got the Razor Crest in the background before it got destroyed. This issue must be, this issue must be before it got destroyed in season 2. Because the Razor Crest does not look like that anymore. The Mandalorian, first edition. Alright, that was just me showing off some of my comics I've gotten from Night Legion Comics so far. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, don't forget that like and subscribe button. Peace!